Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Shadowgate from the Nintendo Entertainment System. We last left off in this cozy looking room. Must be hidden in a passageway behind the library. And even though it's a cozy looking room, we feel frustrated. There must be a clue somewhere. And that clue is actually in the second paragraph description of this globe. Second paragraph says, looking closely, you can see a seam along the equator. So, last in the library, we learned a spell, Terrak, which sounds like a combination of Terra and crack. Terra being a synonym for earth, basically reads earth crack. Let's use that spell. And what'll happen is, a large crack will appear around the equator of the globe. And now we can open up that globe. But before we do that, we better light another torch. This one's almost out to extinguish. Let's use a torch. There we go. And let's look at everything before we start burning things with the torch. We got a beautiful rug. We got some firewood. We can light that on fire. We got a useless goblet here. No point in the game to that. We have a bellows here, which can be an answer to the Sphinx's riddle. Nice fireplace, obviously too big to take. We have a poker, which you can use to commit suicide. I'll show that off. Much like the sword, the spear, the hammer, you basically just drive it into your chest and bleed out. We also have a window here we can look through, see the nice moon. And let's cause some destruction here. We've been burning all the rugs in the game that we've come across. Let's continue that trend by burning this rug. We don't have to burn this rug. There will be a rug a little bit later on this episode that we do have to burn. So, to advance the game for us now, we need to open this globe and take the key 6, which is inside. We can also take bottle number 5. No need to take it, but I'm going to take it off just to show off the flavor text. Take the bottle number 5. Now, remember the only liquid that is deadly is bottle number 1. We can actually drink liquid bottle 5, and it is actually kind of refreshing. It's sweet, like sugar. So I guess kind of like a Coke Slurpee that I have off to my side here. Nice, sweet, sugary drink. Yeah, it doesn't hurt us to drink bottle number 5. You know what does hurt us, though? Using that poker on ourselves. Let's take that poker. You basically know where this is leading. If you use the poker, unfortunately, on yourself, yeah, you're guaranteeing the Warlock a little triumph. You know how else you can make the Warlock Lord triumph? Is if you decide to test if you can fly by jumping out the window. There's going to be several windows in several of the rooms that we'll be going into in this episode. You can jump out any one of them, but the result is always the same. You fall and end your adventure. So we obviously don't want to end our adventure. We want to continue on our adventure. So let's just reset the game. Go back to that save that we made right before we took the poker. And now let's just get out of this room. We don't need to be in here anymore. The closer you can get to flying in this room is using the bottle number 2 to levitate in that room with the 2 bridges. And speaking of bottle number 2, we're going to see a bunch of bottle number 2s in this room that we're going to be heading into. This one right here. No windows though, which is a shame because it'd be nice to have some fresh air circulating through here. There must be a clue somewhere. Looking around, if you look at these stones, you notice this one's a little different. Looks like there's a little latch there that you can chain an animal to perform experiments on. It's not nice. Let's use that latch. And a vial appears. Let's look at that vial. Now normally Nintendo would take away religious symbols like the sign of the cross, but I guess they're leaving it on here to let the player know that this is special water. It's not just water, it is holy water. That'll be useful for finishing off another enemy later on. We got some bottle 2s here. They're the ones that are impossibly light here and here. We have a bottle 3 here, which is a silver vial. We have a slimy jar, bottle 4. We have a test tube here, which is empty, useless item. We have a horseshoe, which could be a potential answer to the Sphinx's riddle. We have this strange pot that's filled with poisonous looking liquid that stinks. And we have a cage here with a simple latch. So I'm going to, don't need to take any of this stuff, but I'm just going to take a bottle 2, bottle 3 just to show off flavor, text, and the bottle 3. There we go. We can use all those bottles on ourselves. Remember, the only bottle that's fatal is bottle 1. But bottle 4 and 3, not really good to use. They taste like tar. Yuck. Ugh. Well, maybe we can wash that tar out of our mouth by using this liquid and drink it. Now, you think that would be fatal for us because it looks like poison, but surprisingly, the only ill effect of this is it lets us grow like blue hair on our hands. So that's weird. Yeah, not fatal. What is fatal, though, is opening this latch. I'll show that off. What also is fatal is drinking the liquid in this room. You see this nice fountain here. And we get a really lousy clue. Are you getting it? No, I'm not getting anything. Let's look around. We got a tree here. We got trees. We got a flute. Looks like it can make wonderful music. We got this tree that's golden colored. Gold is the color of treasure. So you think, oh, maybe there's treasure in that tree. And you'd be right. We can't open that tree up normally. We're going to find a different way to open that tree. And the answer is right in front of us. This flute right here. Now, if you try to take the flute without the gauntlet on that you got from the well, you burn your hand. So you have to use the gauntlet on yourself, which we've done. That allows us to safely reach in and take the flute. And we can use the flute right here in this room to get the treasure from that tree. What did we got? Looks like a ring. A large ring with a sapphire. Let's take that ring. Alrighty. And now let's use another torch because this one's running low. We'll also make another save. There's a few things we can do in this room that are not very wise. So, when we looked at this water fountain, it said that the water was acidic. Let's look at it again real quick. Boop. Look. The acidic liquid spews from its mouth. Yeah, if you try to drink this water, well, it's going to be fatal. Yep, we can't even scream because we boned out our throat and our larynx. Not good. You know what else isn't good? Opening this cage, because it looks like this dog was drinking the liquid in that blue, in that green container, and he didn't grow blue fur like how we grew some blue hair on our hands. What happened with this dog was he just got really, really mean. So mean that he's going to jump on us and basically eat us. So yeah, not good. Let's just continue. Let's go back into this room. We're going back into this room with the fountain, because as you can see, our inventory is getting a little cluttered. Let's take that. We gotta reset and take the flute again. Use the flute. And then let's use another torch, because we reset them when we did those deaths. Now we can take the ring again. And like I said, we're normally done in this room, but our inventory is getting a little crowded. So you can actually, this is a room where you can get rid of some inventory. Other room was that lake where we froze the lake, so we can't use it anymore. That room with the fire that we used the sphere in, you can throw stuff in the oil there to get rid of. And this room here, we can get rid of some stuff. And there'll be other rooms a little bit later. So, for instance, this helmet is useless. let's just get rid of it. We can throw it in the liquid, it melts. The hammer we can get rid of now, but I'm going to keep it because there's some flavor text you can change later on. Any of the keys that we use, you only use them once. So we can get rid of all the keys, keys 1, 2, and 3. We still need to use keys 4, 5, and 6. We haven't gotten 4 yet, though. We don't need any copper coins. I'm going to keep 1 just because there's somebody who wants some payment later on. I'm going to show you what happens if you use a coin. He wants a gold coin, but I'll show what happens if you use a copper coin. If you've defeated the Cyclops, you can get rid of the sling and the sword. If you haven't defeated the Cyclops with the sword, then you can't get rid of the sling. But like I said, we've used the sword and the sling on the Cyclops, so I'm not needed anymore. Oops. No, we don't want to drop that. We want to drop the key 2 and 1. If you've gotten all the items out of the dragon room, you can get rid of the shield as well. But since we have items left in there, not that we need those items for anything, but if you did get all those items, there's nothing left to get in the dragon's room, the game will let you get rid of the shield. But I'm not going back there to get those items. It's pointless. So now let's head on out of this room. We don't need it anymore. And let's head into the room across the hallway. Now you notice when we first went in here, there was a little hole in the rug. This is actually the first rug that we need to actually burn to complete the game. Let's look at the rug. Beautifully woven rug. We got this little mirror. We got a family crest, which is pointless. Another tapestry, which is also pointless. Pointless items. We can burn them, or we can burn the tapestry. We can also burn the rug. This, like I said, is a rug that you need to burn, because burning it reveals key number 4. Let's take key number 4. Let's look at it. It's rusty. And we're going to use the remaining keys in this room. Key 4 will be on the bottom door. There we go. Key 5 will be on the upper right. And key 6 will be in the upper left. Now the mirror can be an answer to the Sphinx's riddle. We could take that. We're going to actually run into the Sphinx in this room right here. The reason I kept the hammer, I said we could have gotten rid of the hammer, is because, let's look at the mirror. It's nice. But let's use the hammer on the mirror, and it'll change the image and also change the description. The mirror is now a victim to my helpless wrath. So yeah, see, the thing has changed, and if you look at it, the description changed as well. I hope you don't believe in bad luck. Remember the old superstition, you break a mirror, you get 7 years of bad luck. Well, we don't need bad luck. We do need some item, though, to get past the Sphinx. Because if we try to get past the Sphinx, use the staircase there, the Sphinx will give us a riddle. Now, the default riddle that the Sphinx has in his memory is answered with the broom. So we can just use the broom right away. As long as you don't talk with the Sphinx, or try to move away from the Sphinx, you won't get a riddle. So you just select the broom right away, give it to the Sphinx, and we correctly answer his riddle, and he lets us pass now through these stairs. We're going to show off, we're going to do some little bit of exploration here, but a little bit later. But notice there's some etching in the stairs. That's going to be the solution to a puzzle. But let's go solve some puzzles up these stairs. We are now in an observatory. A lot of stuff to look at here. A telescope. Windows, we can jump out of them. We don't want to do that. Nice ladder. A scroll and a table. A map. And a shooting star. It says the shooting star is heavy. That's a little clue. That's something you can take. Let's take that shooting star. Now that the star is off the map, if we look at the map, we'll get some more flavor text, which says that it's loosely attached to the wall. Are we getting it? No. Yes, we are getting it. We can open that map now, and we get a new item. We can also open the scroll here, and let's read it. What's it say? Observing the stars, the Throne constellation appears once every 5 summers. Legend said it is a portal to another land. Well, not really important. But what is important is this rod that we got here. Let's look at the rod. What's it say? A rod made of cast iron. Well, let's leave things as we found them. Let's close that scroll. We can close the map. And we are done here in the observatory. Let's move on up to the next room. And we are captivated by a woman's beauty. I wonder what the clue is here. Are we getting it? Not really. We see this thing here though. What's this? A spike. This is actually one of the items needed, one of the 3 items needed to make the Staff of Ages, so we definitely want to take that. See this lash chained up? However, before we take that, if we try to take that blade right now, this woman is going to transform into a werewolf. This is why it was a full moon. The werewolf, full moon, turns it into a werewolf. And the werewolf is going to eat us. So yeah, so we're going to have to get rid of that werewolf before we can do anything in this room. So let's go back to our save that we made. And now remember, werewolves are vulnerable to silver. We got that silver arrow. Let's use the silver arrow on the werewolf. If you try to use any other item on the werewolf will come to life and bite you. Now you think we've killed the werewolf. Surprisingly though, if you decide, let's get rid of that body, let's cremate it. Well, apparently it's not a corpse because trying to use the torch on the werewolf will make it come back to life. Yeah. So, not good. Let's just end the game. Restart again from that save point. And now let's get rid of the wolf for good here. Let's find our silver arrow. Thunk. Now, we know better than to... Yeah, unfortunately, you can't take your arrow back. We can take the blade, though, which, like I said, is one of the items needed for the Staff of Ages to complete the game. We're not going to be able to complete the game if our torch goes out, so let's light another torch. And let's get out of this room. Head back to the Sphinx's room. Wonder what the clue in the Sphinx's room is. Are you getting it? No. Well, one thing we want to get is, you want to look at this staircase. Strange markings are snatched inside. So we have 3 levels going up, then the right level going down, the middle level going down, and then the right level going up. That's the solution to a 3-level puzzle that we're going to run into a little bit later. And speaking of puzzles, if we look at the Sphinx, we try to get past the Sphinx. When we speak with the Sphinx, it'll give us a riddle. Well, it doesn't understand us. Let's try to get past the Sphinx. He's not going to let us. He's going to give us one of 6 riddles. Let's see what this riddle he's giving us here. It has towns, but no houses, forests, but no trees, rivers, but no fish. Dost thou know? Well, the answer to this riddle is a map. We can go back to the library, and there's a map there. Take the map, bring it to the Sphinx, answer his riddle, and we can go back into the observatory. We don't need to go there anymore because we've done everything we need to do there. So let's just get back into this room. Are we getting it? Yeah, a bunch of lousy clues in these rooms. Let's head up this way here. Last room we're going to explore. Evening air is cool. We got some torches here, some braziers, which fire. Lousy clue. What else we got here? Like I said, the torches. We got this platinum horn. Hey, the platinum horn, that's one of the items we need. Remember, to open the way, you need to blow the platinum horn. So that's something we want to take. Let's take that platinum horn. Unfortunately, it's not going to be that easy. Because when you try to take the horn, this hellhound appears. Let's look at that hellhound. Ooh, makes the room even hotter. There must be a way to cool the room off before we roast. Well, let's make a quick save here real quick. Because if we try to do anything, like say we try to take the horn, or try to use an item on the, like the hammer on the wolf, on the hellhound, it's just gonna pounce on us and kill us. So we gotta get rid of that hellhound in order to get the horn and to advance into the game. And how do we get rid of something from hell? Well, we used our holy water. Let's go to our holy water real quick. Use it on the hellhound and send it back where it came. And now we are free to take that platinum horn and continue up that ladder, which we will do in our next episode. Make a quick save, and I'll meet you back here in the next episode. Take care, have a good day. Bye.